All right. Thank you for still being there. Chief Edozie Ezeugwa, the President General, Eastern Union Congress, joins us now. He's an elder of Anambra State, so he will be telling us what is happening in that state, particularly as regarding the AGF threat to instill an emergency rule in the state if insecurity does not end in that state before that election. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right. As an elder from Anambra State, are you worried or are you not worried about the state rising spate of insecurity in the state just a few weeks to the election?
Yeah, I must be worried, especially when you see lives being wasted just like that, either by unknown government or by the security agencies. So much worried. And that is why a few days ago, I raised a discussion with my good friends. I was so much concerned about the utterances of the Attorney General of the Federation, where he indicated that the possibilities of declaring state of emergency in Anambra State. If it's not from the Attorney General of the Federation, the #1 law officer of the nation, if it's from my private opinion, I wouldn't have more worried myself. But coming from him, demonstrate a very serious, decent concern to every Nigerian. Otherwise, I would have expected if it's the presidency does not accept what he has said, they would have, the president would have deployed the media, aides to come and correct those mistakes or repair what he has said. But saying that, I'm still worried that they meant what they said, but the signal of all this crisis has been there since invasion of Imo State by the perceived unknown government. And throughout those periods, we in Anambra State have been witnessing some on and off, actions like that. But at the end of the day, we know quite all right that sometimes it will spread. And we know where these things are coming from. The only thing is that we tend to pretend so much. We tend to pretend so much. And those who are solidly trying to make Southeast ungovernable, try to create more crisis, problems, so that the Southeast will be totally destroyed. The economy of the Southeast will be totally destroyed and suppressed further. They feel that they are winning on their missions, but they are not God. They are not God. I know that at the end of the day, they will never succeed.
Those who want to make Anambra State and the Southeast in general ungovernable, are you pointing accusing finger on someone or some group of persons as masterminds for what is happening in the Southeast?
Of course, somebody is behind that. The operation of going to the correctional center in Owerri operates not less than 3 hours. It's such heavy guided security center. You have the police, you have the DSS, you have the military not far away from there, you have the government house there. Up to today, we have not been able to see where the security agents have paraded those they have captured and all those. Nothing ever have come out of it. And we now tend to pretend and suppress it. It goes continue. So what is happening in Nigeria cannot happen even in a neighboring state, neighboring country like Lome, Ghana, and the rest of them. There's so much silence from the people who we voted to protect us. Their body language does not demonstrate they do not know what is going on in the Southeast.
At the national or at the subnational level?
From the national level, they have the cohesive powers to determine what happens in a nation. The primary responsibilities of any government is to protect lives and properties, provide for the social well-being of the people. But are they doing those things? When you analyze what is happening now in the southeast, and somebody will have the gut to say that he's going to declare the state of emergency in the Anambra state, I doubt whether the Anambrians will forgive him for making that statement.
So are you saying what is happening, is not enough to declare a state of emergency? Now let's point out some of the things that have happened in recent past. The gruesome murder of Dr. Akunyele, who is neither a politician nor a member of any known group that you would say is fighting with another. And then you have other prominent people who have been killed as well. You have the checkpoints of police being burnt and being attacked. You have police stations being attacked, and this is just few weeks to the election. What does this tell you? And then you have sit-at-home order every other time in the state as well. Now, all this put together, you're saying it's not enough to declare a state of emergency when you compare to what has happened in other parts of the country?
When you zero your mind to be very, very honest and objective, when you zero your mind on what is happening in the northeast, northwest, north central, then coming down to the southwest and the southeast, you will be able to tell yourself to be honest reasons why that should not be. Today, 36 states we have, when you add Abuja, 37. Two-thirds of it, there is no single day you will never see any killings. Worst is Zamfara, Kaduna, Borno, or for recent, Sokoto State. Slaughtering human beings, 50s, sometimes hundreds, kidnapping, abducting people from the school. No one have ever made such a statement of declaring a state of emergency. Because election is there. The politicians are out to do what they want to do, by all means. There's somebody that was telling me that all these are zeroing down to Imo system where Supreme Court, give governorship these days. Impose whether you like it or not. We are there. We are in a position of power to do all. But Anambra is not just like that. Nobody will ever make that mistakes. We know when this thing started to come to this level where we find ourselves. Anambra, you don't have that kind of killings, shedding of blood, innocent people, slaughtering human beings just like they are foul, they are not human beings. These are desperation to have it control inside one of our own. It cannot work.
Are you saying the killings are
as far as we know in Anambra State? Then, for instance, this thing was saying, declaring a state of emergency. I don't expect a whole government official to make that statement. Otherwise, it's a direct indictment to the government of the Nigerian. Because if you want to declare the state of emergency based on the killings and all those banditries and criminal gangs, Nigeria would have by now been declared as a state of emergency. Buhari would have. So you don't do a selective actions. My brother that left here came up with a lot of reasons. When you look at it, analyze it, you'll be compelled to start agreeing with him. What has Southeast done to run such a statement? No president that have ruled this country have ever treated the Southeast the way he's treating us, the way he's carrying his actions against people from the Southeast. Even if he had them, does not make any listen to us, but allowed people. Now, one of their sons, you pick him, abduct him from another foreign countries to this country, and dump him and do not allow him even to have an access to his people. What it was offense of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, you have not picked arms against of what the bandits are doing in the northeast and northwest, Nankan had not picked arms and asked his people to begin to operate like a criminal, as a bandit or a terrorist going on in Borno State, in other parts of Nigerians. What offense that has he done that warrants such type of treatment? What is he saying? He was saying that there is injustice, marginalization of these people, the people from the southeast. At the beginning, he was saying, look, let us have a forum. Let us Nigerians meet and resolve so many issues. But some few cliques in Nigeria said, no, we will not. We are born to rule with all kinds of impunity. And that is what we are witnessing today. Few cabal hijacked the government, hijacked policies, hijacked everything, and determines what happens. And these things cannot last. And that's why the nation is upside down like this. We are not making any moves. We are not making any progress.
All right.
We cannot succeed with this type of behavior.
DAGF's threat is only a threat, for now. That hasn't happened. And he said that that can only happen if the insecurity situation is not brought under control.
Let me tell you one thing. When he makes such a statement, they have already taken a decision. I don't bother myself what the president and our governor discussed. He might have promised him, assured him that this is not going to happen. If it's not going to happen, why not call a medium aids to find a way of trying to distance yourself from the statement made by the Attorney General and trying to repair the damage? Why are they still keeping silence? Why is the president keeping quiet in the front of all these things? Why are they still maintaining silence? Or does he not know declaration of the state of emergency, what he meant for? The Supreme Court have given ruling on that, made judge pronouncement on that. You cannot declare a state of emergency to elected government. Is there the judgments? If they can just look at it the other way, but Nigerians know. Some of Nigerians have an access to those rulings, and we read it every day. Put it side by side by the Constitution.
Now, but if that happens really, and if the insecurity is not addressed, and the government is forced to do that, to instill emergency rule in the state, would it have any impact on the election, negative or positive?
Of course. You are trying to invite anarchy. There will be a very serious crisis. If at the moment I'm talking to you, deployment of the military moving from one street to another and all those things, you can see a lot of, fallout, killings, people, being harassed. And does it stop the unknown government until the government themselves begin to address the issue and compelled to start suspecting that the government knows what is happening? It might be one of their strategies to make sure that the people do not come out during the election day, intimidate them, using all kinds of cohesive forces, using the brutal force to suppress and harass people, create fears in them that they will not come out to come and vote. And when somebody have started contemplating that they are going to declare state of emergency, when you declare state of emergency, you now organize an election and declare who you want to. Is that democracy?
In other words, you agree to those who think that this is a ploy for the ruling party to take over the state?
They have so many options that they are on their distance. I was told that the president was saying that, according to the information I had, that they are not going to declare state of emergency, all of that, but it's only somebody that is naive that will accept such. I will not accept such, because I know the handler, the minister who made that statement knows that deep down inside him, that is not being honest. They have already walked out to a certain stage where they can deploy the force, including INEC and the police and the rest of them, to twist the INEC and the people that is concerned, so that they will be able to achieve their purposes. But we are watching and following them. Unless the president wants this nation to crash before the 2023.
The militarization of the state and the Southeast in general, in order to quell the insecurity situation in the region, do you think it will also, affect the people, the voters, who may want to come out to cast their vote during the election in a certain way?
Yes, of course, I say so. When you deploy such a huge security outfit, military, the SSS and the police and the rest of them, if sometimes even the civil defense, all kinds of manners of uniformed men, you feel that you'll be happy when you now step out of your compound that you do not know whether you are going to come back alive. People are not going, a lot of people are not going to come out to vote based on the level of intimidations they want to deploy. I believe so. Even at this moment as we are discussing, the huge number of military personnel being deployed, especially from Onitsha down to Newi sides and Ekwulobia and the rest of them, is so much that you begin to fear, are we in a war situation? Are we in a war situation? What have people of Southeast, particularly Anambra, done to warrant such embarrassment? Why must we be humiliated using the forces, using the coercive force of the government?
All right.
We can't create such type of fears in our minds. We will have right to determine who be our leaders.
All right.
You cannot use force. You cannot use all kinds of intimidations, and it will never succeed. They will never work.
All right.
We try as much as we can to maintain peace. Quite all right. Like what you raised on sit at home. Yes, sit at home. The IPOB have come out to say, look, we cannot continue like this. They have, if they have made such a statement in the past, they have withdrawn. They have issued another press statement that people will no longer sit at home on Monday.
All right.
They have been sending all these messages. But there is a third force that comes in. And those ones are operating, countering what they have said. IPOB, to a certain extent, is more
all right.
Civilized and not to that level of crude method.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.